think because of doing theatre, I am more prepared to do films or web series because theatre has given me a certain process as to how to get into the headspace of the character at Prithvi Theatre once. And you know, तो हमारे जो the clothes का designer था, he had made some very nice fitted clothes and all of that. They were too well fitted, I think. So in the courtroom scene, which is meant to be a very serious scene, my character to come down the steps of Prithvi and pick up the other character who has fallen down. तो उस particular दिन क्या हुआ कि जब मैं क्या कहते हैं, when that scene was happening and I was coming down the steps, I go to pick him up and my pants tore.
My guest for today has performed in theatres, films, OTT shows and more. With his smile, he brings each character he plays to life. You have seen him as a villain in 24. A lover in Romel and Jugal, a sweet and understanding boyfriend/friend as Mihu Pihu in Former Shots Please, and now a fashion industry business tycoon character in Badi Heroine Banti Hai. This is Mrinal Mathur Rajwani, and join me as I catch up with Rajeev. Thank you, Rajeev, for being here with us.
Thank you so much for having me.
So welcome to Social Ketchup Binge. This is binge segment that we call. So firstly, congratulations on Badi Heroine Banti Hai. You have 2 seasons out this year itself.
Yes.
So that's a very rom-com, old school rom-com kind of space.
Yeah.
What made you sign that? Because as I feel, it's a very tricky place to be because you have seen such stories in the past.
Exactly. So basically, you said, you've hit the nail on the head when you say that we have seen such stories because a lot of my friends, they were very skeptical to see it because they're like, "Arey yaar, ab isme kya naya hai? What's so fresh about it?" But everybody who has seen it, any of my friends or relatives, and I have not prompted them to see them because I was like, अब मैं सबको नहीं बताऊंगा देखने के लिए. अगर आपको देखना है, please watch it. So everybody who's seen it hasn't stopped at one episode. They've seen the whole thing because it is the title itself suggests it's बड़ी heroine बनती है. तो वो जो एक तरीके से जो ताना होता है ना, where a lot of women, I mean, face, especially in our country, they face when they're growing up and they want to do something else, or whenever they कोई ना कोई जरूर उनके आसपास होता है who says हाँ बड़ी हीरोइन बन रही है, So in that sense, it is a light rom-com for sure, but it has got a deep message also, or the way it is written, the message comes across in a funny and humorous way. Because if it is a serious stuff, उसको serious तरीके से आप बताओगे तो फिर बड़ा serious हो जाता है. So it is a very fun, light-hearted show and it's very interesting. So the reason I said yes because my character is very. He starts off with being very closed, very emotionally cut off, very introverted, very strict. He's very, very businesslike. But over the course of the series, because of this girl and other things which happen with him and to him, he opens up to her. He becomes emotional. He allows his emotions to show. So, acha arc tha of the character. So that's the one main reason. Because as an actor, what my character is in the end of the series or the film there should be some transformation, right? Because as human beings, we want to we should keep transforming ourselves over and over again. And my character in this had a great arc.
The roles you play should help you grow as an actor as well, that's why.
Absolutely. And help you look inside you as a human and discover places within you ki, oh wow, ye bhi hai. Because as an actor, what are we doing when we play particular characters is that we are empathizing with that person, right? And once you empathize, I think to empathize is to be human, right? Because if you're not empathizing, if you don't, अपने बारे में तो हर कोई सोच लेता है, but as human beings, we should watch out for the other person. And I think empathy is very important for us to, become a better version of ourselves. Yeah.
Okay, so you had a very interesting area of work. Like you have that kind of kitty. So you have worked in theatres.
Yes.
You have done films. You've been part of web series. You've been part of a short film as well.
Yes.
So as an actor, Do you find any difference in each of them, that how do you approach these, like whether it's a film or a web show or a short film, how do you prepare for them? Is there a separate kind of thing that goes behind?
Uh, the thing is, the acting required is the same in any medium because you have to be truthful, right? It's not that because you're doing theatre, it should be a bit superficial and loud, and you're doing film, so it should be more contained. ऐसा नहीं है, but there's truthfulness should be there in each and every performance. But I think when you're doing theatre, you have a lot of time to prepare for your part. Like for instance, I'm doing a play called Gohar. I'm still performing it. So for that we rehearse for 2.5 months. तो उससे क्या होता है कि the lines are like in your body. you can, so this way if someone wakes you up and I can say my line from whichever page they point to. So, but the scary part of that is then when you're performing, it can become monotonous because it's the same line you're saying over and over again, right? So the trick is to how to keep it fresh. And how does one keep it fresh? By listening to the other person more and more. In a web series and in a film space, we don't get so much time to rehearse with a co-actor. So so hence over there, you have to be more present, I think, because if you're not present, then and you're meeting a co-actor, sometimes what happens is, sometimes I met my co-actor on set.
Okay.
और उनके साथ एक romantic scene करना होता है. I mean, it's amazing because you're like, अरे बाप रे, like how does, because generally you rather form a connection with somebody first and then act becomes easier. But fortunately nowadays there are workshops for before films. So उसमें there's a nice bonding exercise which happens. But preparation part, I think because of doing theatre, I am more prepared to do films or web series because theatre has given me a certain process as to how to get into the headspace of the character, which helps me in a web series or a film or something. Sometimes I have a lot of time to prepare. Like Badi Heroine के लिए भी बहुत समय था, तो काफी prepare किया उस part के लिए. But sometimes I don't have समय. Like for instance, there's a Nandita Das had started something called a cineplay, where she recorded plays like film. So I did a cineplay called Raid, where I play a pimp. So generally people won't offer me that part because they're like, gentleman, sweet type, ye wo. But isliye we have to break that mold. So in that, in Raid, I was playing a pimp and gold chain, ye wo. So somebody else was playing that part, but that guy backed out last minute. And so the producer called me up because I was doing another cineplay for them. So he called me up and he said, yeah, can you do it? And we were shooting in one day. So I was like, "Arey." So there is this particular actor, a character actor who I won't name but I like when he talks, उसमें एक नशा है उनकी आवाज में. So what I did was, maybe this pimp will talk like that. Yeah. तो मैंने उनकी आवाज पकड़ी, and I promise you, my body only started behaving in a different way. So yeah, in that sense. So it depends on, and that again, because of doing theatre over and over again, one intuitively knows कि, कहाँ से क्या लेना है. It helps in film and series.
The theatre and films are very different. Theatre hasn't, like, that you prepared, and then after a point, it is a very live audience based, and you feed off their energy.
Exactly. Yeah.
And while you're shooting anything which goes on either movie or a web series or a short film, you have cameras and you don't have an energy to support you.
Yeah. Well said. So, but it's amazing you say that because in theatre we are projecting, so people over there can hear us, right? Like while we're obviously they should hear us. फिर कैसे वो देखेंगे? But I remember shooting for Jolly LLB, and so I was waiting for my shot to take place, और वहाँ पर एक scene चल रहा था, and all the senior actors were doing their scene there, and I was sitting and just waiting for the scene to start. मैं 1 घंटे तक बैठे रहा, and somebody told me, "Chalo, now your scene." I said, "But this scene is not done." He said, "No, it's done." So it was, so in a film space, people are just talking like this, they're acting like that, and the camera is capturing, the sound is capturing, everything is happening. But in theatre, you can't whisper your lines, because the person in the back row has to be able to hear you out. So in that sense, there is a difference, obviously, because you have to project your emotion, but the truthfulness has to be there. Agar aap, supposing there's a romantic scene and you're saying I love you, it has to have that feeling in you, but you have to just project. The volume of the voice has to be, I think, louder, but ज़्यादा उतना फर्क नहीं है जितना लोग समझते हैं, I feel. And yes, but film में the editor आपको बचा सकता है, director आपको बचा सकता है, I mean बहुत बचाते होंगे, background score आपको बचा सकता है, but on stage, when you're on stage,
You get a retake while you're shooting.
Many retakes, and on stage you don't get a retake. In fact, I was doing The Merchant of Venice at Prithvi Theatre once, and तो हमारे जो the clothes का designer था, he had made some very nice fitted clothes and all of that. They were too well fitted, I think. so in the courtroom scene, which is meant to be a very serious scene, my character to come down the steps of Prithvi and pick up the other character who has fallen down. तो उस पर्टिकुलर दिन क्या हुआ कि जब मैं क्या कहते हैं, when that scene was happening and I was coming down the steps, I go to pick him up and my pants tore.
I'm sorry.
No. That's what I'm saying. So see, and my pants tore, and I was like, and it's a serious scene. I mean, Prithvi, if you've been to Prithvi, it's like everybody's sitting so close. My pants tore, and I was like, oh my god! And I don't know how I don't know what happened. Some universal energy took over. I just took my jacket out. बड़े serious look के साथ, very serious scene है. तो serious look के साथ, I took it out and I just tied my jacket here. I got up and I went up the stairs. I went outside the theatre. I asked the guard, सब कुछ ठीक है ना? He said, हाँ, सब कुछ ठीक है. Then I went back in and I finished the whole play like that. So therefore, yeah. So presence of mind बहुत अच्छा हो जाता है अगर आप करते हो theatre.
So theatre does help you a lot in that sense.
I think so, yeah.
Okay, so I actually wanted to ask you, after coming, I've seen greatest actors still doing theatre as well. We've seen so many. But what is that one thing that for you that you go back to doing theatre? Because mostly actors in your zone would want to focus their entire energy in getting more roles that gets more acclaim, fame, more money in all that sense.
It's the love for acting, and I just like to act. There is no particular. Yes, being in a film or a web series, you reach a wider audience because millions see you then. But I think just the love for acting, and the more I do theatre, the more comfortable I have become. Because pehle, I used to be a bit nervous to go on stage. Like everybody, when you go on the stage for the first time, you have stage fright, etc., etc. But now when I go on the stage, the last few years, I feel that I'm entering my living room. That's how relaxed I have become. And I don't know, it's I guess because of working at it and the experience. So I just love being on stage, and like you said, the live feedback which you get when you're acting on stage it's amazing. और लोगों को लगता है कि when the audience is laughing, it's great feedback. But sometimes in a very serious scene, when there is a pin drop silence in the audience,
that's also good feedback.
That's amazing, because in the scene where they're like, so it's like everybody's holding their breath. कि अब क्या होने वाला है? So I think that, so in that sense, the present moment feedback which you get when you're acting on stage, it's I don't think film can beat that. Yeah.
No, I love watching theatre. I've done that. I've not done that in last couple of years, but initially when I used to come, I was there. In Mumbai, I used to go and watch theatre shows. I've done in NCPA as well. I've even in that Neeta Mukesh Ambani ones, I've done that musical play show and everything. I've seen that, and I loved sitting there. I love that as an audience also. I'm too intrigued. I'm like sitting like this. What's happening?
I'm performing on the 20th of April at Prithvi. So please.
I'll be there.
I'll message you. I'm like, please, I'll remind you. Yeah.
And I want to ask you, what made an investment banker become an actor? Because as I know that that theatre happened to you first, and then movies happened, or you auditioned for a movie.
So first I was working at the investment bank, and then theatre, and then yes.
So what made an investment banker become an actor?
I used to act in school and college, but very amateur level. जैसा होता है कि भाई आपको lines मिलती है, उतना interest नहीं था. I didn't have so much interest in taking it up as a profession. But like I said, amateur level पे किया in school and college. Then just somebody who didn't have any direction per se कि what does one do with one's life. I did my MBA because everybody does an MBA.
मैंने भी किया.
And here we are.
Here we are.
So I did my MBA and then worked as a wealth advisor at a very good investment bank, and everybody who worked there was very good at their job. And that imposter syndrome started happening. Yeah, what am I doing here? I mean, I genuinely don't enjoy the corporate setup so much as the other people do. And if I have to do something for the rest of my life, it better be something I'm really passionate about or joyful about. And then when I started questioning it, then slowly over a period of like a few months, अंदर से जो आवाज होती है, that gut feeling, that intuition, it kept becoming louder, and I was wondering ki, where is it coming from and why is it coming? Because I didn't know anybody. I mean, I know this. I didn't know anybody in this industry, so I was like, how will I manage to do anything without knowing anybody? But this voice was too strong. So then I took a call after 3-4 months to, give in my papers. And then my boss said कि क्यों हीरो बनना चाहते हो? I said हाँ.
बड़ा हीरो बन रहा है.
हाँ, but he was very sweet. He did come for my first play आधे अधूरे at Prithvi Theatre. He came and he was. I think when you following your dream or your passion, so सब कोई if you genuinely mean it, then I think
then
everybody
people start cheering for you.
Absolutely, they uplift you.
Yeah, I'm glad. We all are glad that you got that voice.
Thank you.
Very soon in your life, like just a year and a half, I'm into investment banking. You decided that you wanted to shift. So a lot of times what happens with actors is that they get typecasted very soon because of the kind of roles they're doing.
Yeah.
And while those roles are very important in their career journey, there's always a fear that after a point I'll be given such roles only, or I'll be offered such roles only.
Yeah.
So were there any time for you that there's any time that now I feel that I'm typecasted, I'm getting such similar roles only, or that typecasting helped you in general?
But the thing is, fortunately for me, supposing I grow a beard, I look very different. If I change a few things, I don't look only. I look and feel very different. So abhi tak I have not got so typecast at all. In fact, even there's a film called Upstarts which I did on Netflix, where I play a venture capitalist. So ek tarike se he's the if you have to say, he's the antagonist / villain of the piece, but he's not an out and out like the filmy villain we see. So usme the look and everything is the same as Mihir in FOMO shots, but the character is it's almost poles apart. And I did that almost the same time. So I have been lucky that I haven't been typecast, and I want to maintain it that way. And I would thank the casting directors for for seeing that ki bhai, let's not only call him for this particular kind of role. In fact, one of my projects, which will probably come out hopefully very soon, where I'm playing an out and out, almost very anti-hero, villainish sort of a character, and I really enjoy playing those parts.
No, so I know that like I was mentioning earlier as well, that you have not been that hero hi banana hai ya villain hi banana hai ya kuch aur character type hi. I know you have, like I was talking about earlier, that you have done villain, you have been that childhood lover, you have been that kind of you were a gay lover in Romeo and Jugal, and then you've been pimp in that character as a character. So I know that you have that kind of thing, but in general, do you think that there is a silver lining in being typecasted, or there's a silver lining in not being typecasted?
I love your positive take on it, because there could be a silver lining, because so many times an audience likes to see you in this particular role, and they like you so much that you keep getting those, at least aapka, आपका career चल रहा है ना, but which it may not give you like satisfaction, but it's you're happy, you're employed 24/7. But for me, I always had, when I started, this one thing was very clear, that I have to play different characters, different, like I have to be different people. That's very important for me. So therefore, I'm very lucky that I wouldn't complain that if I have to play the same lover boy I wouldn't complain. But fortunately, that's not what's happening. Even if I have to play a lover boy, like a Mihir jaisa character in Fomo Shots, he's just such a sweet guy. I was just so I had to really search for the sweetness in me to play that part. But that was also a very very.
But that character, I think, and so when I mentioned that I'm interviewing you,
Yeah.
most of my team members also remember you as Mihir only.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, Mihir. That's what they first read. हाँ, 4 more shots में देखा है Mihir. So most of them remember you as that character. So was that a landmark character for you? Have you received that as a feedback as well? That
I think that Mihir's character from Fomo Shots and Akki's character in Ashram. Because Ashram also was a big and to be directed by Prakash Jha, I mean, he's a living legend, because so many people, are in our field, but after a few years they burn out. So many directors start strong, but then they just, after some time, they stop making the quality films or the quality things which they were known for. And for Prakash Jha, sir, I mean, he has been there for his whole life, and he makes things with so much passion that when you're sitting with him in the same room,
there's a different energy.
exactly,
There's a different energy. I've heard him speak at a session.
yeah,
And speak about ashram only after the first season.
yeah.
And there is complete different energy altogether. There's a room full of 50-60 people, and the way he's talking, the way he's so passionate about the project, it's very different.
Yeah. And in fact, if he, like for instance, if you and I are acting, and obviously he's directing the scene, he will not tell you ki aise karo, waise karo. Not at all. He trusts you, because that's why he's cast
He trusts
us in the project. But he just comes, and I don't know, there's something he transmits through his energy ki bhai, we do the scene like how he would want the scene to be done. So I think, like you said, kuch unme kuch baat hai. So I was very lucky that I got to work with him. And soon after Ashram, I worked on this another film, which will hopefully again come out very soon. And again, directed by a very wonderful lady called Vandana Kataria, whose energy also is very, like, the thing is, I like directors who push you till your full potential comes out, right? Sometimes directors are happy ki, acha mil gaya shot, but sometimes they're not happy till they get the exact truth. And so Prakash sir and Vandana, that was, that's what they look for, and I think it really helped me, because you have to always grow as a human being and as an actor. So through them, I think a lot of growth happened.
And what kind of roles do you like? Like anything in particular that, okay, I enjoy being a little grey character, or enjoy being something.
I think a villain, grey, anti-hero types.
Anti-hero types.
Yeah, because उसमें करने को बहुत कुछ होता है. And I like, so when I'm playing a part like that, I like to, I think most actors have their own process. I like, especially, this is a murder mystery which will come out soon, where I used to be in my zone, like very, very serious, heavy, एक vibe ही अलग हो गई थी. And I remember the AD coming to me on set one day and saying, "Sir, ठीक है." I'm like, "अरे यार, मैं zone में हूँ यार." So again, that's damn good, because then it is so real कि जो आपको वो जानता नहीं कि scene होने वाला है. He looks at you and says, "Oh shit, I hope everything is okay." But everything is better than okay, because I'm enjoying that zone.
Okay, and out of all the roles that you played, which one took most out of you?
Wow. Wow, that's a very nice.
Because like we discussed, we have played different kind of roles, and it's not easy to be in each kind of role very easily.
Yeah.
Like you were saying that you were in that zone, there was vibe altogether, there was a different vibe. But which one took the most out of you in any sense that, okay, you had to put way more efforts, or it stayed with you so much that it impacted you?
Yeah. So I think has to be my first play with Lilith Dubey because that time the whole world, everybody who I knew was like he pagal ho gaya hai. What is he doing? ये acting मतलब क्या पागल हो गए हो क्या इतना पढ़ लिख के they all were like after my life. So and it was my first professional play which I got soon after I left my job, and within 6 months I got the play. So yeah. I'm working with Lilith Dubey, Mohan Agashe, all these big theatre and film actors. I got lucky. So that play was very important because I had to prove to myself that, because when you're young and you're starting out and you have so much you have to prove to the world, to yourself, it's so like you put additional pressure on yourself which is not needed, but at that time you don't know any better. So I had to prove to myself and to everybody around me that I've not lost my mind. I'm in the correct sort of space. So that and also because that play is about a dysfunctional family. It's a play called Aadhe Adhure by Mohan Rakesh, who was a brilliant playwright. So it was a dysfunctional family. And I was acting in the play at the time when my whole extended family circle was like, you're saying, what's wrong with you? So the real life was mimicking the real life, in that sense. So, and uska rehearsal bhi 2.5 months ka tha. And I remember every day I used to be like, because the play is so heavy, and whatever was happening in my life, both were colliding, and that took a lot out of me because of my first work. And I was just gathering, tools to how to create a character, and it was such a heavy play. So yeah, basically everything around me was intense. So in that sense, that took a lot out of me. Apart from that, in film, I would say. Even if something takes something out of you, I just feel that because we're doing something we love doing, you enjoy it. It's that even if you feel pain, which I don't think I've not felt ever that, arey yaar, kya ho raha hai? I've never felt that. Even for the slightest moments, if at all, if I felt that, it is filled with a lot of joy because, even when I'm going to work, for instance, and if we're shooting in the outskirts, if we're discussing, outskirts of Bombay. When I come back home, even though the drive has been very long, even all of that, but I have renewed energy. Like because my work gives me energy rather than takes from me. So in that sense, the tougher the character, I think the more joy I feel.
Okay. And while we're talking about, it's something that I just want to ask, and something I also feel is, we both we are not from Mumbai, and we both come from some different places.
Yeah.
Has Mumbai as a city helped you achieve or get not get, in the sense, like you were saying earlier, that you were an investment banker and you had that calling while working, and you had no idea that you wanted to be an actor. Has Mumbai helped you? Because what I generally feel is that the city gives you dreams, gives you a different energy altogether. Once you lived here, you cannot live somewhere else.
Agreed, yeah.
And the struggle people go through here gives you a different high altogether. So has that helped you as become a better version or become an actor at the first place?
Maybe you're right, because I've never thought about this like that. But it could be because I think everybody in Mumbai, when you look at people, they are just so focused in that sense. सुबह आप देखते हो किसी को भी कुछ ना कुछ चल रहा होता है उनके दिमाग में, and everybody is so focused towards something, right? And I think it is in the air of Mumbai which gives which gives wings to your dreams, I feel, because I was, in other cities before this, and us samay I never had the inclination to become an actor. It's only when I came here that suddenly, जो मैं नौकरी कर रहा था, despite doing it, that I think very deep जो dream थी, I think thanks to the city possibly, that my dreams took a certain shape and thoda reality mein badla. So maybe it is in the air of the
Because
city.
you had that opportunity also right there, that you know that there are theaters, there are casting directors around, and you can give it a shot.
Exactly.
Maybe if you're not in Bombay, you
हो ही नहीं पाता.
हो ही नहीं पाता.
Exactly. And even like I said, I did not know anybody on a personal level. तो सब कुछ जो भी काम मिला, whatever work I've got is because through the work. And even because it started with theatre, even the play that I got was because one of my friend happened to know कि एक audition हो रहा है, will you go and give it? And I just went and did it, and it happened. And so you're right. It's the city which gives you, and like you said, once you lived here, you can't live anywhere else. You can't. You just can't. Yeah.
Okay, so we've seen you acting. We've talked about your acting. You've talked about everything. I want to know, how's Rajeev off camera?
How's Rajeev off camera? Ever evolving. So earlier, actually very similar to Advait Singhani and Badi Heroine. Maybe that's why I resonated also, because earlier I used to be very introverted, and maybe I still am, but I just was very shy, introvert, and just happy work. This one thing is that I've always been happy just working, and because I've never done anything which I don't want to do, so work is not work for me, it is joy for me. So Rajeev is now has become more emotionally open and more free and more like I wouldn't say extrovert, but now I don't feel pehle when I used to go to like certain parties or certain get-togethers, I would feel very awkward and all of that. But now I've become like, nahi yaar, it's easy. Exactly. Now
Part of my life.
Yeah, and I've stopped thinking much. So I guess probably in my early 20s or 20s, I would overthink. And now wo aspect is slowly it's disappearing.
So other than acting, do you like anything that you are very passionate about?
Like acting is observing people. That's one thing, because I don't want to get it back to acting only because observe karte to phir aap you as an actor you're meant to observe. But I love sports. Yeah, so that's football, and I should play football, cricket, boxing, everything in school, and I still play football. So that's one thing. So I like sports and acting, because now that's what I think. My corporate friends who are still working in companies, etc. So they look forward to the weekends and they look forward to holidays. But I'm like, yaar, I look forward to a Monday because I love doing what I love doing. So in that sense, we are lucky, I think. Both you and me, that we're doing something which we like, which we're passionate about. So.
Okay. And my last question is, what's next for you?
So
there is the projects that we discussed. There's Ashram in pipeline. There are a couple of movies that you mentioned, things that you mentioned.
Yeah.
But what's next in general? What are you looking for?
What I just I feel there's so much to give in terms of like the projects and the roles that I can do, and so that's next. Just to push myself as an actor.
Okay. Any particular kind of role that you're looking forward to, that I want? This is something that I've not done and I want to do.
Because I like sports so much, and those sports biopic.
That's great. I mean, sports biopic will take a lot from you.
No, I like, and because I like observing people, I find getting the body language and the voice of a person, वो मेरे लिए हल्का सा आसान है. So maybe that talent will come in, will help me with the sports biopic.
Okay. Thank you. This is the wrap of my questions, and I had real fun talking to you. Maybe because we all both share that kind of passion for what we are doing.